When we consider the relationship of the sign system in parts, the sign, the representative, and the object, I usually think it's easier to understand what is a fairly sophisticated relationship by going to social experience and trying to pull out of our own experience what some of these relationships are. And one of the easy ways to do this is to confront the difference between fact and opinion, which those are categories we use for everything and are very familiar to us, but when we're asked about it or we stop and think about it, what is the difference between a fact and opinion, then we start to get lost. And Semiotics offers us a nice little analytic tool in its parts to see the distinction. Basically what happens is all of us as human beings have experiences, and that's what normally other people would tag as your opinion. When you explain your experience, well, that's your opinion. And we're interested in having a broader acceptance of that. We don't want just to express our opinion. We want what we say to have factual standing. Well, a general sociologist's view of this thing would be, well, you get a fact when a lot of people, you count. 100 people have this opinion, so for those 100 people it's going to function as a fact, meaning that they don't debate it, they don't argue about it anymore. It's just a kind of experience that they all have in common and can talk about. Well, push that back to an individual situation. You have an experience of something, which is what that means is you're taking in some information, and that's what a sign is. A sign is just any kind of information that you experience, but that information has a context. It fits into a pattern in the system. You know that information because it is framed by some kind of understanding. Well, that sign information really for each of us as a person counts as a fact. It's not an opinion. We don't have this social condition judging it. What I experience is a fact for me. Now the challenge here is, how can my fact experience be matched up to another person's fact experience? Well, basically we have two shots at this, two ways of doing it. We can talk about the relationship of the sign to the object. That is, this fact that I've experienced, I can refer to somehow. I can talk about it, or I can ask a person to do something that I've just done so that we have the same body experience. We try for a matchup. So whenever I can match up this learning experience with the event or the object or the thing that I'm doing, then I generate a fact that the two of us agree that this sign, this information, is a fact. It takes on the condition of being an object. It has objective status for us, and that's what we mean by objective. We mean that somehow, usually in a behavioral sense, I can do what you've done. That confirms it as a fact. Now, if I can't duplicate it, if I can't do what you say you've done, then I say, well, that's just going to have to be your opinion. I just can't do it. Meaning that we can engage in the same sign behavior, but my behavior just doesn't produce that object. That's all I know.